Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for FWD-DFW together with the Dallas Morning News. I'm Ron Corning, and today we are coming to you from the Comerica Bank branch on Lovers Lane in Dallas. We've been here before highlighting their co-work spaces for small business owners and their community space. But today we're drilling down on what really is a partnership that this bank is building with small business owners and entrepreneurs through their Small Biz Co-op. Jim Weber is here with Comerica to talk about that. And Jim, I'm describing this as a partnership that you're forming with small businesses. Do you see it that way as well?
Absolutely. I think that, it's incumbent on us as a bank in what is generally perceived as a commodity industry to go the extra mile. We pride ourselves on being a relationship-based bank, so very much focused on serving the personalized and individualized needs of our customers. In the small business space, that really led us to trying to figure out exactly what we could do to add real tangible value. I'm a marketing guy, so I'm supposed to be very good at making things sound good, but in the end, you have to go beyond the platitudes, you have to go beyond the taglines, and you really have to create real value for folks. And that's really was sort of the genesis of this idea behind Small Business Co-op.
And we've really got a case study here today. You're going to meet Sean coming up, who has a small business. He began banking with Comerica. He may not even have realized on the front end the kinds of services that you'd offer or the kind of partnership that he would build. And it has, in real tangible ways, helped him grow his business and helped him reach out to clients, and some of whom you'll recognize when we talk about it. Let's talk about some of those tangibles. You say you're a marketing guy. Yes, I get that. And many of these small businesses know that marketing is important. They don't have a budget for marketing. Where do you come in on that front?
Well, one of the things that we're blessed with as a fairly large bank, and I would start off by telling you, we think we sit in a nice sweet spot. We are big enough to matter and small enough to care. That's the phrase we use. So when we think about the assets that we have as a large bank, what comes to us by virtue of having that scale? And one of those things is, the ability to have significant amounts of advertising inventory. For instance,
on radio stations.
On radio stations, and through our relationship with the Dallas Stars and the Texas Rangers, for instance, we have a fair amount of radio inventory. And so as we're thinking about how do I add value for a small business customer, and I used to be a small business person myself, and I used to be in advertising. So I kind of know that that's not something that's readily available to a typical small business. So we thought about it and said, well, what if we could transform our creative units in that inventory of radio spots and essentially use 30 seconds of it to let one of our small business customers promote themselves. And so that's really the idea behind our free advertising program. We also allow customers to sort of put digital billboards at places like here, the Lovers branch. We have a display, and we'll rotate those ads on that display so that when customers come in, that's just a little bit more awareness for a business doing business in this particular area.
Yeah, and Sean is going to speak to that because you raise a really good point, and that is lots of radio spots are bought in bulk by large marketing agencies and firms, and for a small business owner to get 2 or 3 30-second spots during key airtime is really difficult. And so you are, and this is a theme that's emerging, you are sharing your resources. So the ad time you own is one resource. The marketing folks who come together and actually produce these radio spots is another resource. You have relationships with vendors for office supplies. You pass those discounts on to your small business owners. Up to 40% in some cases?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, the concept behind all of this that we're operating on is what's ours is yours. That's the philosophy that we sort of applied when we were looking again, going back to this idea of what do we have that could be of value for a small business. So, we looked at, as a large company, we get these great discounts. We have buying power, we have clout with an Office Depot.
And you have sports tickets, Mavs tickets, and that may sound like a perk, but that can be a real effective tool in building relationships if a small business owner is trying to reach clients.
Absolutely.
I mean, schmooze them really is what we're talking about, and that's a great way to do it.
Order reward, a loyal customer, reward, someone on your team. If you're running a pizza joint and you've got a high performing colleague, how do you show some love to them? So that's a perk that generally, and even in our own past, has been reserved for sort of our bigger commercial clients.
And you're sharing it with the small businesses now.
Exactly. We kind of taking it down market because really the value to them is even far greater than it would be to a large $500 million.
But isn't it also possible that these small businesses, by building their brand with your help, will become bigger businesses and employ more people and be managing even more money through your services here? I mean, that really is possible. Some small businesses will remain a certain size, others will grow and expand.
Yeah, we serve the full continuum. So when I say we are the bank to the major sports teams, we're banks to billion-dollar-plus corporations, all the way down to the mom and pop.
Yeah.
And so you're exactly right. We look at that spectrum and we say, how do we help you get to the next level and the next level and the next level? And that's, we are first and foremost, Comerica is a business bank. And that's our bread and butter. That's really what we believe our differentiator is in the marketplace. We know business better. We have long tenured employees. We have incredible expertise across all of these different facets of business, whether that's small or large. And so anything that we can do to burnish that and to really bring that out is a winning strategy in our opinion.
And we say that information is power. Information and knowledge can help with success. You have Size Up, which we're going to talk about when we meet Sean, when we come back here, about how your data and information about what's happening in this city can actually help them with that data, build their business, reach their customers where they are. We'll continue the conversation with Sean and Jim when we come back in just a moment. For more information on Comerica Small Biz Co-op, visit comerica.com/succeed. All right, so we've talked about Comerica's marketing efforts for its small business clients, specifically those radio spots that they produce and the time they give to their small business clients. Let's take a listen to one of those spots.
Comerica Bank believes every small business should have an equal opportunity to succeed. That's why we're sharing this radio spot with
International Coolers. They're the global leaders in walk-in coolers, walk-in freezers, and drive-in cold warehouses. For all your cold storage solutions, from restaurants and schools to hotels, warehouses, and florists, visit internationalcoolers.com.
To learn more about how Comerica supports all small businesses, visit comerica.com/succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
That is a radio ad spot for International Coolers. And Sean Davis is the president of that company. He's joining us now to talk about how that ad led to, what would you say, Sean, one of the biggest clients you've had to date with your company?
Absolutely. That ad led to sports team that
So have we heard of them, this sports team, this local sports team?
You have. They've had a pretty impressive year.
It's the Dallas Mavericks.
You
landed the Dallas Mavericks. So the right person heard that spot, and the phone rang, and they were interested in working with you. And describe for people what you do with International Coolers.
We sell walk-in coolers and freezers for restaurants, hotels, and larger warehouses for our customers.
And I would say that you are a relatively new business.
That's
right.
correct.
You're about 2 years old. Your 2-year anniversary coming up in August. Did you think it would lead to this kind of client this quickly?
No, absolutely not. But Comerica has been great to give us this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Sean, I'm curious to know, do you think, and I know sometimes it's hard to trace, but do you think this ad is exactly what led to this relationship with the Mavs?
I do. I think that it ran 4 days before, I talked to them. So yeah. I would assume so.
And do you think your cooler contributed to their season in any way?
Oh my gosh! I mean, totally.
Do you think if they'd gotten a larger walk-in cooler, they might have actually won?
I mean, we can try.
We'll see if more business comes from that. What do you like generally? We talked about the small business co-op features that Comerica offers its clients. What do you like most about it? What service do you use most often that you feel has helped your business?
Well, the co-op, and what I like most are the people. Of Comerica, but the small business co-op, definitely.
And when you say the people, you mean the opportunity to really have a relationship with a banker, with a real human.
Absolutely.
And you use the co-work space as well.
I do.
When we talk to small business owners about using the co-work space, part of it is literally just getting getting out in the community and getting away from and having a professional space to come to. What does it mean for you to have that opportunity?
Well, it is a great place to, be able to get away even from your own office.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like getting out. A lot of small business owners are working from home.
Oh, totally.
Or in your case, you might have like a small office in your warehouse space. So this gets you into a different environment.
Right. And I go back and forth from the home office, the warehouse, the office, and
here.
And here, well,
and Comerica.
Absolutely, and the different branches around.
Yeah.
Comerica.
Give me an example of a conversation you've had with one of your bankers that you left here feeling better about yourself. I don't know what that might be, if that is a hurdle or a complication with your business and you've just felt better because you've had someone to talk. It sounds a little like therapy.
Oh, it's total therapy. I talked about, challenges, just any and everything, and they're absolutely great.
Yeah. Jim Weber is the Executive Vice President and Chief Experience Officer here at Comerica, and Sean's story is not unique when it comes to your small business entrepreneurs who are really finding solace in just having this relationship, because you've said it's all about the people. When you hear that, what's your first reaction?
It's very familiar. So what Sean's describing is what we consider to be our bread and butter, and so we love hearing from folks like Sean. It reinforces that we're doing the right things by our customers, and what we find is that that's what they value more than anything. I mean, ultimately, the features that we're talking about with Small Business Co-op are great. They add value, but a lot of what it does is differentiate us and allow us to start conversations. And once those conversations start, I think that's where we really prove our value, and that's kind of what I hear coming from Sean when he describes his experience.
I know for small businesses, especially when you're starting, you understand the importance of marketing, but your dollars on the front end don't go to the marketing right away. What did it mean for you to have this opportunity to have some marketing expertise and marketing dollars behind your business?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, where else are you going to get that kind of, exposure and opportunity? And
expertise, because they helped you produce the spot.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Your ads have also run on the monitors that are at various bank branches, so you're getting exposure in the community. So far, and the answer may be no, but so far, have you gotten leads from that, or do you see it more as a long play, which marketing typically is?
You know what? The effect is we could hear from someone tomorrow or next week, and I know the importance of it.
Yeah. When you've come into a bank and seen your brand on a monitor in a public place like this, I mean, as a business owner, that's an accomplishment, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. It's your mindset when you see, your logo, your brand. As a business owner, it's huge.
Yeah, powerful stuff. Sean Davis, President of International Coolers, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And Jim, we'll continue our conversation and wrap things up right after this. Not a Comerica customer? Find a banking center near you to learn more about Comerica's offerings and services. Visit Comerica.com to find a location. All right, everyone, we're back and wrapping up our conversation with Jim Weber, and I want to put this on the screen. It's a list again of the services offered through the Small Biz Co-op, and of course, all that information is available on the website. And Jim, when you hear Sean Davis's story and the success he's had, I mean, that must be for you mission accomplished, right?
That is sort of, if you could dream up how it should work when you're thinking of ideas and you're hoping that you get the response that you really want to see. Sean epitomizes exactly what we were hoping would happen, that someone would not only see the perceived value, but receive that value almost instantaneously. I mean, it's a really amazing story.
I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm issuing one of those disclaimers, but individual results may vary. Not everyone's story or journey is the same. That's not to say that a small business owner won't find success through a different avenue or path. For example, your community co-working spaces may allow someone to network. We've said this before in having conversations with you. Allow someone to network with other business owners and form interesting, meaningful partnerships to help them grow their businesses. There are a number of things happening here at Comerica that kind of help a small business reach its goals. Can we talk a little bit more about some of those other things?
Yeah, I think we look at it as a suite of services. The idea was you can't live or die on one idea, and some small businesses have such a wide range of need that we wanted to make sure that all of those were covered. And so when we thought about what, different businesses are going to need different things. The advertising may be very apropos for one business, but maybe a B2B business, for instance, isn't going to see much value in that. But they might see more value in the tickets or the purchasing power. But beyond that, I think the bigger story that we see as we do this, and I just spoke to this recently when I was addressing the East Dallas Chamber of Commerce, was they had someone stood up and talked about, small businesses are the lifeblood of the community. When small businesses succeed, the community succeeds. And so we believe that all of this has a knock-on benefit. If we're out there and we're enabling small businesses, we're also raising all boats in the community.
Yeah.
And some of the benefits that we have, quite frankly, are just as relevant to nonprofits, for instance.
Yes.
So when I think about using the community space, which is free to anybody, you don't even have to be a Comerica customer.
And again, by being present here, you may cross paths with a small business owner using the co-work space who wants to support your nonprofit. And there again, you've created an ecosystem of sorts in the community. It's interesting to me how banking has evolved, right? A lot of people went online for the sake of efficiency and convenience and so forth. And it didn't matter for a while, it seemed, whether you were banking with a bank that was here or somewhere else. And you've kind of changed the thinking again and flipped the script a bit to bring it back to the basics of community banking, which is being a part of the community. Is that something you think will kind of be here to stay? Are we sort of seeing the value that was missed in not being part of the community?
Well, I think there's a permanent shift in how day-to-day transactions are conducted, especially on the personal banking side, right? People aren't going to start going back and depositing checks, right? They're going to continue to use the apps, and they should. Those are efficient, and the banking industry is adjusting to that reality. When you talk about small business, though, most of the research will tell you that a small business owner still wants to have that personal contact. They still use their banking center. They still want advice. So that relationship becomes all the more important. And as much as technology advances, the key, I think, to success, especially for a bank like ours, which is relationship focused, is how do you deliver that same relationship value with those tools?
Right.
The tools the digital doesn't replace the value of the relationship, right?
The tools are important and they need to remain.
They augment that, and yes, you sort of check that box, right? You expect to have those basics. But the value and the differentiation comes with the kinds of programs that we're operating here.
And I think you're proving yourselves at Comerica to be a case study in that, and the stories we've done about you prove the point that community banking is really important, and that to help small businesses who in turn help the community really helps everyone. Jim, thank you for shedding more light on how you're helping small businesses. And thank you everyone for watching. I'm Ron Corning for FWD-DFW together with the Dallas Morning News, and we will see you next time. To learn more about Comerica's wide range of unique opportunities for small businesses, visit comerica.com/succeed.